We're joined by Eric McMahon, the strength and conditioning coach for the RoughRiders, and it's not every day you get to say you're here with the best in the business, but in this case, I actually am joined by the best strength and conditioning coach in the Texas League. You won the award last year at the end of the 2012 season. How did that feel? Just revisit that for you when you won that award, and what did that mean to you?
Thanks, Alex. It was special last year. It was the first time I'd won the award, and one of those things. Hopefully, you have a few more to come. But there's a lot of great coaches in this league, so it was really nice to be recognized by those guys, and just for the work we all put in out here, just trying to get guys better. So, it was definitely a great feeling last year to win that, and thank you.
And I'm sure because it was voted on by your peers, that probably made it even more special, that recognition.
For sure. Like I said, there's a lot of quality coaches out here. They have a lot of passion for what they do, and they're always trying to find new drills, new ways to challenge players, and fit as much training into the season that's already busy with a lot of games and travel already. So I think it is definitely it's an honor, and I appreciate it.
Was it special to be able to share that with Carlos Olivas, who won the trainer version of that award at the same time? You guys were both able to celebrate that right around the same time of the season.
Yeah, we found out we won the awards right around the same time, and the strength awards have only been around for, this will be the fourth year this year, so I'm thinking that could have been the first time that both trainer and strength coach won it at the same affiliate. I'm not sure about that, but so when we realized that, we thought that was pretty cool, and hopefully we can do it again.
I guess we'll find out in a couple of months here. It seems like this time of the year is such an important time for players because this is the proverbial dog days of the season, a long stretch without a scheduled off day. We did have a rain out the other day with an impromptu off day, but for guys to stay healthy and to perform at the high levels that they want to going into a season, this seems to be a very important point of the season. How important is it, given the work that you do with the guys during the season and in the off season, to get to this point and feel like the guys have accomplished what they wanted to do in staying healthy and being at their peak in performance this time of the year?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about that. The schedule the last week has been pretty crazy on our end, and I think for us right now, what I've been telling the guys is, the month of July is, tells you the most about, the whole season. If you feel good this month, you've done enough work to this point, and if you don't feel good, it's something maybe you should reevaluate in the off season to make sure you're a little better prepared for next season. August, September, in the second half of the season, you don't always expect to feel 100%, but I always tell the guys you want to push and try to still feel good and feel fresh in July. If you can pull that off, you're doing something right with your training. And another thing I tell these guys is, our season's 140 games, but the season we're training for is 162. And then you add spring training, you add playoffs, all the way to the World Series, you're talking almost 200 games. So, they feel like we're way over the halfway point, but I tell them, hey, we're just getting to the halfway point. And if you have that mentality, you at the level you want to be at, that's the way it's going to be.
Do you take any personal pride when guys have career years and perform as well as they have? I'm thinking of two guys in particular, just the way they've played the last few days and really all season long, in Brett Nicholas and Alex Buchholz, guys that have put up career offensive numbers. And in Alex's case, he was a guy who had trouble staying healthy for an entire season. He has been able to do that, and finally is able to show what he can do on a day-in, day-out basis. Do you take any personal pride in performances of those guys?
I mean, these guys are talented players, the guys you mentioned, and they come out and they work hard every day, reps in the cage, taking ground balls. They're good at what they do out here. I do take pride in, the medical staff in general. For the Rangers, we take pride in keeping our players healthy and on the field. And if we can do that better than we have in the past with a given player, or just putting routines in place for the player to have a little more success and staying on the field and just feeling better out there on a daily basis, that's definitely something we take pride in, for sure.
We're here with the RoughRiders strength and conditioning coach, Eric McMahon. Eric, how often are you in communication with the players during the off-season when you don't get a chance to see them every day?
I'd say I usually give them the first month. They hear my voice a lot during the season, so I give them about a month, and then I get in contact with each of the guys. And nowadays you get a hold of guys a lot of different ways. We have Facebook groups, Twitter pages, we have emails that we send out, and I get on the phone with all the guys. So yeah, pretty often over the course of the off season. Some guys take it on themselves to contact us and really challenge themselves with the program. So we're just not calling them; they're in contact with us and about the off-season program.
Your relationship with the players seems a little bit different than some of the other guys on the staff, whether it's the manager, pitching coach, hitting coach, trainer. Do you feel like guys can be a little bit more open with even just life with you versus maybe some of the other folks on the coaching staff?
That's something in the field of strength and conditioning. There's been some research and that shows that athletes are a little more open with their strength coaches than other staff members, and whether that's an authority figure thing or if it's just a personality thing, being on the same level with the guys out on the field, grinding it out, doing some of the same workouts and reps with these guys. I'm not quite sure what it is, but we definitely have. I think to challenge guys to do the work over the course of the season, you need to have a good relationship with them, and over the course of that, they're going to open up to you about some things, and if you use that information the right way, you can help them in a lot of ways.
From what you oversee, you also help guys with what supplements they should or shouldn't take, whether it's a protein shake, something like that. How much do you have to stay on top of your game in knowing what goes into some of these supplements? Because it's always the go-to excuse for a lot of folks when they maybe don't pass a drug test. I took a supplement, wasn't sure what was in it, or maybe was not educated, or it was tainted. How much do you have to stay aware of what is in these things and what you have to relay on to the players?
There's a lot of products out there, and they're coming out every single day, and it's impossible for any one person to stay on top of every single product that comes out. But what we do as a strength and conditioning staff with the Rangers is we have relationships with some of the major supplement companies that have what are called NSF approved substances, and these supplements have been rigorously tested. The labs are clean. We know what we're getting. Some of these are pretty common supplements, and for these supplements to be approved, there's a lot of research that goes into that process. But yeah, you got to stay current. A lot of research on this stuff, and a lot of times you just have to be resourceful. And when a guy asks you, "Hey, can I take this?" you need to find out what the heck's in it and look it up and do the research at the time.
Finally, I want to bring up something that a scout was talking to me about the other day. He was an old school scout. He said this was an old school mentality of looking at it, but back in his day, guys did not lift weights very often, and he said guys didn't get hurt as often. Is there any correlation? Do you agree with that, that maybe the more weightlifting and training leads to more frequent injuries, or is the weightlifting injury prevention more than anything?
Weightlifting is about strength. It's about getting stronger to increase your performance and to remain healthy over the course of the season. Strength underlies, it's the foundational principle of every aspect of your fitness. There's a lot of variables to injury prevention, and with the growth of the strength and conditioning field, weightlifting has become more common. I think athletes are just more explosive and more powerful than they've ever been before. Whether it's because they're stronger, I think they are stronger, but we're seeing a lot better quality performance on the field than maybe back in the day. And I know that's a debatable point, but a lot of people talk about that nowadays. And I just think the performance we're seeing out of these guys from the power, the way they're hitting the ball, the way they can run, it's a high risk, high reward thing when you're talking about power athletes at the elite level. And it's a double-edged sword when you're training these guys to be as explosive as they can be, but then you don't want them to injure themselves. So you have to be smart about it.
Eric, congratulations again on your award last year and keeping these guys healthy and strong throughout the season. Thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it.